Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to see you again. Today, in honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, we are going to assemble a taco bar for dinner. And for dessert, we are going to make a spectacular, creamy, dreamy flan. And the first thing we need to do is grab some ingredients from the local farm store. So please take a drive with me. For the flan that we are making today, I need eggs from local free-range hens. I will also grab some blueberries and strawberries that we can serve alongside the flan. I already have most of the ingredients we need for the taco bar, but I still need jalapenos, cilantro, limes, and taco shells. We are home again. I have put my ingredients away. So we are going to start with the flan. Now, I need 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and this is for the caramel. And then I need 1/4 cup of water. And in you go. And then we need to cook this on the stove top until the sugar completely dissolves and turns a beautiful shade of amber. So while we are waiting on the caramel, I wanted to explain what flan is. It's a custard similar to creme brulee, except it has a caramel on the bottom, and then you pour the custard on top, and then you cook it in a water bath, and then you unmold it so that the caramel is on the top. Super delicious. And you can make flan in individual custard cups. I'm going to make mine in an 8-inch diameter cake pan. Let's check on the caramel. Now, you really don't want to stir the caramel at all, but you can certainly swirl the pan from time to time. And here is our beautiful, beautiful caramel. And now my whole house smells like a candy shop. I'm going to pour this into my 8-inch diameter cake pan. And then swirl the pan so that I can evenly coat the bottom. And then I'm going to place this pan in my gratin dish here, or you could use a roasting pan because the flan will ultimately bake in a water bath. So I need something that will hold the water. And now we can make the custard. I need 5 large eggs. These are local eggs. I wanted local eggs from free-range hens so that I would have richly colored yolks. Then I need to whisk these eggs to break up the yolks. And I will post a link to the recipe in the description box below, so you don't have to write anything down. And to the eggs, I'm adding 14 ounces or 396 grams of sweetened condensed milk. Then I need a 12-ounce or 354-gram can of evaporated milk. And I'm going to whisk slowly but steadily until all of the eggs and the two milks are well combined. And the reason I'm whisking gently is because I don't want to create a lot of air bubbles. Now you could certainly make this custard in a blender. Just be sure to pour it through a sieve afterwards to get rid of any of the undissolved bits and air bubbles. I think we are good and mixed here. Now I'm going to pour this gloriousness through a sieve on top of the hot caramel. And there. Now I need to boil some water. Now, in true Kevin Lee Jacobs fashion, I forgot to add vanilla extract to my custard, so I'm going to do that right now. I need about a tablespoon. And I'm going to stir very gently just on the surface so that I don't disturb the caramel on the bottom. Do you ever forget to leave out ingredients? I hope it's not just me. Well, I think we have incorporated the vanilla. So now I can add the water, the very hot water, to the roasting pan. I need 1 inch of water. And this water bath will allow the custard to cook very gently in my 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius oven, just until the custard is set. It should just jiggle when shaken, and that's going to take anywhere from 35 to 40 minutes. I think our flan is ready. So let me show you. The flan is done when it just shimmies in the center, like this. Now I want to run a plastic knife between the edge of the flan and the walls of the pan. And the reason I'm using a plastic knife is because a metal knife could scratch my pan, and I don't want that to happen. My plastic knife is from a set of takeout cutlery. I'm going to set this aside to cool, and then later we will unmold it. I'm going to empty my roasting pan, which is actually a large gratin dish, and then we need to head up to the garden to grab some tomate, which we will chop up and use as one of the toppings for our tacos. Now I can empty my apron pockets. Look at all of these beautiful tomate. These are the San Marzanos that you and I planted together. And I've already harvested a lot of them and frozen them. But we can enjoy some of these as one of the toppings, one of many toppings I might add for our tacos today. Going to rinse these and then start chopping. We are rinsed and dried. Need a little cushion under my cutting board because my workstation is not perfectly level on top. And I don't want my board rocking about annoyingly. Oh, look at these. San Marzanos are great because they are almost all meat and very little water. So let me show you my plan for this taco bar. I'm going to put all of the toppings and some seasoned ground meat on this platter. So this could either be a dinner or it could be a drinks and nibbles party with taco bar. I'm going to chop everything that I can chop ahead of time, put it on a tray, and then I will cover the tray and pop it into the refrigerator. So this is pretty much a make-ahead taco bar. Here's one item I do not have to chop. It's the pickled onions that you and I made together a few weeks ago. Oh, they smell just heavenly. This goes on the tray. And then I need 1 or 2 jalapeno. And we'll cut these into rings. Now I'm leaving the seeds and ribs in. And if anyone doesn't want hot jalapenos, well, they will have plenty of other toppings to choose from. Now, a couple of my toppings or fillings require no chopping at all. These are some black beans that I cooked in the Instant Pot the other night. And all I have to do is put them in a little food prep bowl. And to make them look pretty, we can steal a few little pieces of the tomato and place them on top. I also want some sliced black olives for a topping. I love black olives. I like green olives in my martini and black olives on my tacos and pizzas. Then I have some Mexican blend shredded cheese. We can add to this little container. You go over here. Then I have some cotija cheese. If you've never had cotija, well, you must. It's really delicious. Of course, you have to be able to open the package, which I seem to be having trouble doing. So this is a crumbly, salty cheese. I want to eat just a tiny piece. Salty, milky, it's just absolutely delicious. And we can crumble this into a container. Crumbles very easily. Queso fresco is another Mexican cheese that I absolutely adore. Put the leftover in a little Ziploc bag. In the comments below, let me know if you too enjoy learning about cheeses and other foods from other cultures. I'm going to scatter some of this leftover crumbled cotija on top of the black beans. So now we have black, red, and white on our black beans. So I think this will be a very pretty taco bar, in addition to being a very delicious taco bar. Another topping for our taco bar is guacamole. I was going to make my own, but the avocados at my local market looked just deplorable this morning. So I bought this very excellent, it's called Sabra guacamole. It's a classic guacamole with lime. This is made in Mexico. It is super delicious. But I don't want it to oxidize, so I will put a bowl here for it on the tray. I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator until the last minute. Then I need some lettuce or lechuga, which I am slicing as thinly as possible. This is romaine lettuce. Now, ultimately, the lechuga will go in this container, so I'm putting it on the tray. But to make sure the lettuce remains fresh, I'm going to put it in this refrigerator container, along with a piece of paper towel. A paper towel helps lettuce and herbs to stay fresh longer in the refrigerator. And we can add this to its container shortly before serving time. And of course, this wouldn't be much of a taco party or taco bar without cilantro. So I'm going to mince that right now. Now, ultimately, the cilantro will go into this little container here, but for now, because I don't want the herb to dry out, I'm putting it in a little Ziploc bag with a piece of paper towel, just as I did the lettuce. Then we need lime. And the lime can go into this container. And this bowl will be for the ground beef, which we are going to season very pleasantly. But we're going to do that later. Now I want to cover all of these ingredients. By the way, doesn't this look very colorful already? I think it looks very inviting. And into the refrigerator. Before we cook off the ground beef, I want to unmold my flan. Now, this pan is still somewhat warm, and I can see that the caramel along the sides is still liquid, which is what I want. But if you refrigerated your flan, then you would want to put the pan in another pan of hot water just to warm the caramel so the flan doesn't stick. And I'm going to put my cake stand on top of the flan pan and flip. Say a prayer. It's gorgeous. If there's any caramel remaining in the pan, just pour it on top. Well, that's my dog Avery. Are you interested in flan? She's very interested in flan, but she can't have any. Not right now anyway. I'm going to pop this into the refrigerator. So now we can go ahead and cook our ground beef along with some of the onions that you and I grew together from seed and that we diced and froze several weeks ago. Very convenient to have frozen diced onions on hand. A little avocado oil to get started. Now that the onions are translucent, we can add the beef. you could certainly use ground chicken or ground turkey here, or a vegetarian ground meat alternative. Then I want to season this mixture with some of the taco seasoning that you and I made together. So I like to flatten ground beef into a patty and let it brown on the underside. And when it's nice and brown, then I use my little meat gadget here. I think it's called a meat chopper. And I can link this gadget in the description below if you are interested. Oh, this smells just wonderful with that taco seasoning. Now here's how I like to drain fat from meat. I move all of the meat over to one side of the pan. Then I take paper toweling, put it in the empty part of the pan, and then tilt the pan. And then all of the fat runs into the paper towel. And of course, the paper towel absorbs the grease. And here is the beef minus its grease. I want to transfer some of this to the serving bowl, which will go on this wooden platter with all of the toppings. But we still have a long time to wait before serving time. So I'm going to let this cool to room temperature, and then I'm going to cover and refrigerate it. And then just before serving time, I can rewarm the beef in the microwave. And while we wait for that to happen, I need to go buy a bottle of tequila. Well, I didn't even know that you could buy a margarita in a bottle. And this one includes, it says premium tequila. This has just made my life very easy. It's getting close to serving time. Let's go set the table. Well, I had to bring the glasses back in because I forgot to rim them with lime and salt. You don't have to drink a margarita with a salted glass, but we prefer it here. Done. So it's only going to be two of us for this taco bar party. Or maybe I should call it a taco bar date night. But I certainly made enough food for probably 6 people. So if you reproduce this dinner, you could have a party. I'm going to pop this ground beef into the microwave just to warm it. So here are all of the toppings that we put together earlier. I'm going to put my cilantro in this little bowl, and I have our lettuce or lechuga that can go in this bowl. This bowl is overflowing with beauty. And then the guacamole, which again is store-bought because it is better guacamole than any I could have made with the rather sad-looking avocados at my supermarket. Now, actually, this may seem like a lot of food for just 2 people, but we are big eaters. You'd be amazed. Now, spoons for the tomatoes, guacamole, black beans, cotija, shredded cheese, sour cream, olives, cilantro, And then I have a fork for the pickled onion, a fork for the lechuga. I need a fork for the jalapenos. Now I want to prepare the taco shells. I'm going to use a cream soup spoon for the beef. I think it will work better than any other kind of spoon. I have never tried this before, but I saw someone on TikTok take soft taco-sized tortillas, spread them lightly with shredded cheese, pop it into the microwave, and when the cheese has melted, you take a hard taco shell and you put it inside of the soft shell. In this way, you get all of the crunch without any of the crunchy mess from the hard taco shell. But I'm not going to do that for all of my taco shells. I have some soft tortillas here and some hard shells over here. And unfortunately, some of these shells were broken in the package. Well, let's mix some margaritas. So I've got ice here, and my cocktail shaker. Oh, it smells delightful. Going to garnish the glasses with a little wedge of lime, and then we can pour our margaritas outside in the garden. Oh my goodness, this is very heavy. That's going to be very delicious. Lizette will be joining me for this taco bar date night. A little carne. Ooh, there's so many choices. Maybe some black beans and some tomate, guacamole, and cotija. Well, this seems like a fun way to either do dinner or a cocktail party. Oh, and I want a little of this salsa verde. So it's green hot sauce. Not too much. Salud, mis amigos. Oh, this is very nice. Now, the double taco shell. This is delicious. And I haven't even tried all of the toppings yet, but I have 2 tacos left to fill. Salud. I have to say the hard shell inside of a soft shell TikTok gimmick is just that, a gimmick. The hard shell becomes very soft in the end. So I would go with either soft shell or hard shell tacos. And I don't even know what to tell you about all of these fillings because, of course, they are all totally delicious. We're going to finish our tacos and then we can come right back with the dessert. And now the moment at least one of us have been waiting for, taste testing the flan. I tell you, your fork just sinks right through the custard. And the top, caramel has a mirror-like finish. It's a very beautiful dessert. This is meltingly delicious. My friends, I hope you will give this taco bar dinner or date night taco bar party and this flan a try. Everything is very easy to do, and you can make the whole works well ahead of time. Thank you so much for joining me today as we celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month by creating a taco bar and this absolutely fabulous flan. In the next episode, I'm planning to harvest some of these collard greens and some of the carrots that are in the bed over here and use them as part of a fantastic fall dinner. And I hope you will join me then. And if you enjoyed today's episode, I hope you will give it a big thumbs up. And please post a comment below because I always enjoy hearing from you. And until the next video, please treat yourself very, very well. And I can't wait to see you again. Bye for now, friends.